Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. Day 10 will take us to the 11th of November, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles pretty much around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That will get us more or less to the end of November, and we'll bring you up to date with all of the latest developments with Storm Ciaran as well. So please like, share, subscribe on video. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Just say the first video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. We will normally be doing a live stream of this 10 to 14 day at 6 PM, you know, on a Wednesday. But for this week, we're actually doing a video version of this, and the reason for that is that we've got a premiere at 7 PM this evening, so we're going to be premiering the first installment of the GavsWeatherVids Christmas Countdown. So that's to come at 7 PM, and I'll see you all on the red carpet a little bit later on, maybe. Temperature November forecast is going to be released tomorrow, by the way. So busy with all of the updates and the content at the moment. Right, so first of all, let's bring up to Storm Ciaran, then. Lots of yellow weather warnings at the moment. So we've got rain warning across northern Scotland or central northern part of Scotland. That's not associated with Ciaran. And then these warnings down here for wind and for rain, they are associated with Ciaran. We've got 2 amber warnings as well, still for tomorrow. For wind from the southwest, that's from 3 AM this morning until 11 AM tomorrow morning, and there's also a secondary amber warning, which is just here. Let's go back to it. It's that one just there, and that's for 6 AM tomorrow to 5 PM tomorrow afternoon, and that's the more southeastern corner as well. Having said that, there are weather warnings for rain and also for rain anyway through here. So we've got a yellow wind warning as well for the southwest. I think rain warnings through the rest of Wales into parts of the Midlands and East Anglia too, and up into northern parts of England. So heavy disruptive winds and rain on the way with Storm Ciaran. And, you know, they say there heavy rain associated with Storm Ciaran is likely to bring disruption to parts of England and Wales. Very strong and potentially damaging winds associated with Storm Ciaran, likely late on Wednesday and onwards into Thursday. And then the amber warning, very strong winds associated with Storm Ciaran may disrupt travel utilities and cause some structural damage as well. So it's all going on at the moment with Storm Ciaran, and I'll show you the fact chart. So this is the human interpretation of the models from the UK Met Office, or at the UK Met Office. So this is Ciaran developing down here on the latest fact chart. This is for 6 AM. Now as we go through 24 hours, there's Ciaran just there. I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm a little bit chesty today with a cough. The cough's got a little bit chesty now. Goodness gracious. Don't know, do you? Now, this is for 6 AM on Thursday. Oh, look at those winds down across the south. So the strongest winds are on the southern side of the low pressure. That's especially storm front, but also through the channel, just clipping through the southwest, along the south coast, and into southeast. Well, of course, over the centre of the low, the wind won't be too bad initially, because at the centre of the low, winds are light. But as the low then start pushing over towards the east side, there's a wraparound of stronger winds coming around that area of low pressure. So wild with Storm Ciaran. Central pressure, I think, is going down to something like 957 millibars. If we go back 953 millibars maybe in the centre of below. So I mean, that is a very, very deep area of low pressure indeed. These are high res models from the weather outlook. So looking at wind gusts, first of all, from 2, we can see that the strongest push of winds again coming into far south and southwest at 10 PM, like 60 to 70 mile an hour gusts then. And then through the night winds strengthen. So by 6 AM tomorrow morning, we have got in excess of 100 mile an hour gusts there through the channel. We're clipping into southeast with like 80 mile an hour gusts, possibly around the southwest, far southwest tip of Cornwall. we're in excess of 80 miles an hour through there. We don't go that far inland, find relatively light winds, of course, over the centre of below. Beyond that, so we find the strongest winds transferring through the Straits of Dover through the morning, 80 to 90 mile an hour gusts there, 80 mile an hour gusts still carrying on through the Channel. Obviously, the Channel Islands will be very badly hit with this as well. I'm so sorry once again, everybody. And then through the afternoon, we see the strongest winds sort of pushing eastwards with 40, 50 mile an hour gusts widely then across England and Wales as we go to the afternoon. Like even into the city centres, Birmingham, London, we could well be seeing gusts going like 60 mile an hour, which is gale force and you know, it's going to be very significant and potentially quite disruptive. So that's a Pej. We can have a look at Icon as well. That is another high-res model for wind gusts. All of these charts, all of this data is coming from the Weather Outlook, by the way. So please check out the Weather Outlook. They have a fantastic website and YouTube channel. So through the early hours, the strongest of winds again in the pushing into the southwest. Maybe evening, like 6, 70 mile an hour gusts, and then strengthening through the channel overnight, 6 in the morning, 3 to 6 in the morning. We've got like in excess of 90 mile an hour gusts. So it's quite getting to 100 mile an hour, getting into 80 to 90 mile an hour gusts, or in excess of 90 mile an hour gusts there through the channel, pushing through Straits of Dover and in the far southwest of the country as well. And then the strongest winds gradually transferring northeastwards as we go through the day, with both very strong winds, bearing 40, 50 mile an hour gusts pushing across England and also across Wales too. That's that one done. And we can also have a look at UKV as well for the wind gusts, so let's check that one out too. Here we go then. So once more, strong winds down across the south through the evening, and then overnight we see those winds again, like 90 to just about getting to 100 mile an hour through the channel and off the north coast of France. Very strong winds trickling to the southeast, through the southeast and through the southwest as well, 70, 80 mile an hour gusts there by breakfast time. And then the strongest of winds transfer northeastwards with 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts moving northeastwards across England and also across Wales as well. Very significant rain with this too, so let's just have a very quick look at that and then we shall get on with the rest of the 10th boarding down about Saturday. So very significant rain coming in with this through into Thursday. Lots of heavy rain for England and for Wales tonight, and into tomorrow we keep to wet weather going through much of the day actually across many parts of the country. It will be showery night, it's not everywhere going to get the downpours, but there will be quite a bit of rain around with that. But through tonight and for much of tomorrow in an on-off fashion. Anyway, before things start calming down as we go through to Friday, remember wet weather's back in again for a while on Saturday. So again, you know, very disruptive weather. If you're at all worried about Storm Ciaran, then please check out the severe weather warnings at the UK Met. You find the link to those in the description with this video. Check them out and you know, see what's going on and stay safe. Keep yourself safe if you're in one of those areas getting the worst of the winds tonight and tomorrow, and just be, as the Met Office say, hashtag weather aware. Okay, let's have a look at the central in temperature. The CT has come in for October at 12.1, so it's actually 0.1 of a degree where we expect it to be at 12.2. Nevertheless, that's pretty close to where we expected, so that's 1.6 degrees above 61 to 99 average. It follows on from September, of course, which is exceptionally hot at 17 degrees, hottest September on record, so certainly been a very warm autumn so far. We wait to see what November has in store. But from where we started off with a CT in the early part of the month, that's a pretty impressive drop, I have to say, to get down to 12.1, almost into the 11s. That didn't look very likely from around the first week of the month. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off around average at the moment, a little bit up and down, a little bit zonal. But as we go further on through the first week into the second week of November, then we see those upper air temperatures dropping a little bit. Start starting to become rather cooler than average, maybe, although not dramatically so, but going a little bit below average from the first week to second week of November. And then after that, possibly signs of a little bit of a tick up in the upgrade temperatures around the middle part of the month. That could be associated with a drying trend. Before then, lots of rainfall to come, so further large precipitation spikes for the next week to 10 days. But beyond that, actually things start going a little bit drier, maybe into the middle part of November, but of course that is a very long way off. Temperature anomalies from the 1st to the 9th of November, around to a little bit above average for England and Wales, near normal for Northern Ireland and Scotland. Not a big deviation though in the south. And precipitation anomalies from the 1st to 9th of November, wetter than average, especially so for England and the Wales. The latest Windflow Map from earth.nullschool.net shows that there's plenty of low pressure in the Atlantic Ocean, and of course this is going to be Storm Ciaran developing down to the southwest approach. It already looks pretty nasty, doesn't it? That's going to deepen like mad over the next few hours, and you know, that's the trouble. That's the trouble that's on the way for tonight and for tomorrow as well. Right, let's go through chart database. So this Tabulations UK Met Euro run is on a big night on Saturday, but next day is low pressure waiting in the week. We're starting to move in from off that, bringing lots of wet and windy weather in with it on Saturday into cool showery conditions for Sunday, and then just sort of showery really as we go through to the early and middle part of next week. I can't again that deep area of low pressure just to the southwest. That'll be bringing lots of wet and windy weather in with it over the weekend. Into next week, showery westerly winds pushing through as well. That's turning a little bit milder through the middle part of the week with those southwesterly winds, but it's still a very unsettled weather pattern. As I look as we get to midday on Wednesday, again, cold front coming in from off the Atlantic will be bringing plenty of wet and windy weather in with it. This is the GFS midnight run. Again, low pressure knocking around the country, bringing plenty of rain and wind in with it through to the early part of next week. Again, low pressure keeps coming, pushing in from off the Atlantic, so further wet and windy weather is on the way. Up to day 10, GFS midnight run still has an unsettled look to it. We're trying to raise heights a little bit over to the east of the coast, but basically low pressure still dominating. And as we go beyond that, up towards the middle part of November, the low pressure areas keep coming, so further wet and windy weather on the way. We finish up though, just starting to turn the wind round to the south as high pressure builds to our east. That's not drier and also much milder, but I think it's probably only temporary, turning milder, and then, you know, the low pressure is still there in the Atlantic waiting in the wings. And then the GFS 6Z, again, bring that area of low pressure in on Saturday. That will bring lots of wet and windy weather in with it. Sunday goes cool and showery for the early part of next week. Again, low pressure punching through from off the Atlantic, bringing further unsettled conditions in with it. And they last pretty much throughout next week, although probably turning a bit milder later on in the week, with the wind pushing up from the southwest. Beyond that, so beyond day 10, it's still looking rather showery in the north, mostly dry down the south, and further wind and rain coming in from off the Atlantic, really, even into the second half of the month. Albeit, again, there is a suggestion it's getting a bit milder here, I think, with the wind coming up more from more of a southwesterly direction. If you enjoyed the video, please give you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. GM, again, bringing low pressure in from off the Atlantic Ocean on Saturday, so further wet weather to come, and then into the second half of the weekend and the open of next week looks showery and rather cool as well, and low pressure keeps coming with the GM all the way up to day 10, so that's Saturday the 11th of November, still with a deep low right over top of the country. And then the ECM again with that area of low pressure just to the southwest on Saturday, bringing lots of heavy rain in from off the Atlantic, and then through into the open next week, showery and breezy, and then heading up towards day 10. Perhaps a little bit milder, high pressure trying to reach up from the south, but still lots of low pressure in the Atlantic, so further wet to windy weather still to come there, albeit it is turning a bit milder with a rather large warm sector, but it's below pressure, but it's in control of things still all the way up to day 10. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Temp.com. Loads of heavy rain piling in putting in from the south and from the southwest with Storm Ciaran, of course, tonight. So it's not only a wind event, it is also a rain event as well. And then through the remainder of the week, like showery conditions, really further wet weather into the south into Saturday. Some of that rain will be heavy and persistent. And then we keep it showery as we go through into the early part of next week. Show may turn a little bit wintry on those west-northwesterly winds for the early to middle part of next week. And then heading up toward day 10, just a little bit drier with those southwesterly winds, but you see more rain is definitely out in the Atlantic, threatening to bring further wet weather in at times. These are the options on the table from the ECM ensemble, or for the ECM ensembles from the Isolate Met Office for day 10. What's my line went a little bit wonky. Gets us to the 4th of November. 12 members of the ECM ensembles look very unsettled at day 10. That's just some 2 hours, so let's go here. There we go. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles for day 10. Gets 12th of November from the Isolate Met Office. 19 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure in from off Atlantic. That brings lots of unsettled weather in with it. 10 with high pressure to our west and northwest. That's going to be drier, but potentially a little bit colder with winds in from more of a northeasterly direction. 7 with low pressure to the east, high pressure out to the Atlantic. Again, we're looking a little bit on the cool and showery side. 6 with deep low pressure over to the east coast. That with lots of unsettled weather in with it. 5 have high pressure down to the south, and low pressure is to the north. So that's going to be drier in the south and potentially very mild. They'll quite unsettled up in the north. And then 4, interesting, with high pressure blocking around Greenland and Iceland, low pressure over France. That bring the wind in from more of an east or a northeasterly direction, so that would get things potentially quite cold actually, but particularly so for more eastern regions. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 16th of November. 19 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure, again dominating from off the Atlantic and a strong westerly wind as well. 10 with high pressure over to the east coast. That should bring a lot of dry weather in with it. 7 with high pressure to the south and low pressure to the north. That should bring dry weather to the south and should be quite mild. 6 with deep low pressure in the Atlantic into the west of Europe. That looks very unsettled. 5 with high pressure over France. Again, we bring the wind up from southwest with that. And 4 with low pressure over France and southern England. And that high pressure has intensified over Scandinavia, so that's properly blocked and potentially quite cold with easterly winds coming in there. So a range of options. We may be seeing a signal for some higher pressure around the middle part of November, although it is quite inconclusive and remains to be seen. CFS B2 finally, and then we've done. So it's a 500 millibar high zones break down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 1st to 7th of November. The coming week will be very unsettled with deep low pressure over the UK and Western Europe. Week 2 is going to be the 8th to 14th of November. Again, lots of low pressure in the Atlantic. That looks very unsettled as well. Week 3 is going to be the 15th to 21st of November. Again, low pressure in the Atlantic, high pressure is away to the east. The winds are coming in from the west or southwesterly direction, so again, going to be very unsettled. And then week 4 will be the 22nd, 28th of November. Again, lots of low pressure in the Atlantic, so looking very unsettled, albeit there is some high pressure over Scandinavia that's potentially going to try and get the wind in from the east. So it's a little bit of a battleground type scenario, so that's not impossible. That could be turning quite cold actually, with winds tucking in from the east. Maybe even a little bit of wintry potentially with that, especially if the low pressure was to start to go in that direction, slide northwest to southeast. But again, inconclusive, and we'll have to wait to see about that. Okay, we're done. So if you've enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that for us. As I say, we've got to put on something like 80 to 75 subscribers, something like that, to get ourselves to 17.2k. So if you could give us a sub and tell your friends about to subscribe, that'd be incredible. I thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Okay, just to tell what's coming up later on, and tomorrow. So later on, we've got our premiere, of course, for the first installment of Christmas Countdown. So that's going to be a little bit of a laugh coming up for you at 7 p.m. I shall see you on the red carpet just before. And then tomorrow, we've got 6 a.m. UK weather forecast. We're going to have the European Outlook. Terry Scully's November forecast will be released tomorrow, as well as a 10 to 14 dayer. So lots and lots and lots of content to come. keep checking back to the channel for more. But for this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.